All right, hello everybody. This is Nicole Whitlock with Ecom Sellers, and it is time for our weekly planning session. So we normally do this early Saturday morning. So if you joined us on Saturday morning and you're like, she's not live, I apologize. We are out in the country and things don't always work out the way I would love for them to work out. So we're live now. You can come back and watch the replay later on if you catch this. I do want to invite you to also share this out with a friend. Let somebody else know about the weekly planning session. Because you know what? We are at the start of Q3. Yesterday was July the 1st. Today is July the 2nd. And it is time for us to prepare to crush it in our e commerce businesses. So we got to get serious. We got to get focused. We got to get real about this. So let somebody else know about it. In any case, my name is Nicole Whitlock, and my passion is helping people on their e commerce journey, helping them to get focused, get consistent, get organized, putting together a game plan or whatever their strategy is going to be to help them achieve their goals and help them to make progress in their e commerce business. Since it is Q3, that sort of matters because if you didn't accomplish all your goals the first 2 quarters of the year, then now you got the last 2 quarters of the year to bring up the rear or either to course correct. So it's time to stop playing around with your e commerce business and let's get committed. If you're a person that needs some help with getting organized, getting focused, getting consistent, you can schedule a free 20-minute coaching session with me by going to ecomsellers.com, clicking on freebies, and scheduling a free 20-minute coaching session. Again, ecomsellers.com and clicking on freebies. If you are a person that feels like I need some tools to help me to get a little more organized because I really want to crush it in Q3 and in Q4, then you can grab the My Ecom Planner, the digital version. You can go to myecomplanner.com, download the digital version of the e-commerce planner and use that to help you to get more organized and get focused. It was created for sellers by sellers, and it is the ultimate e-commerce planner. So we are live on Clubhouse. We're also live in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. And so you can catch us in either one of those two places. And today's topic is the weekly planning session. So we're going to get into it. You can download the weekly planning checklist directly yourself by going to the e-commerce planning Facebook group, clicking on files, and download the weekly planning checklist. You can also download the daily and the monthly, which the monthly also includes the quarterly stuff that we do. You can download any of those checklists. So I am presenting my screen in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. Let's go through it. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm actually not going to start with page one. I am going to start with page three. I believe it's page three. And the reason I'm starting with page three is because the last time that I went through this, for some people to visually see the schedule and then to come back and go, okay, now how did you build that? Sometimes that helps. And so our goal, our objective is to one, build a weekly planning template. A weekly planning template is going to be our guide on the activities that we're going to engage in our e-commerce businesses. I believe that it doesn't matter what method of e-commerce that you're in, that there's some basic core things that all e-commerce sellers do. All e-commerce sellers create listings, period. I don't care what platform you're on. I don't care what method of e-commerce. We're all creating listings. Okay. The second thing is that we're all getting our product to the customer somehow. That's a shipping component of our business. Whether you're physically shipping it yourself, whether you're using a fulfillment center, whether you're doing drop ship, like whoever, whether there's an integration, however you're doing it, however it is happening, there is a shipping component to every seller's business if you're selling a physical product. The third thing that all sellers are doing is that they're doing some level, even if it's very, very thin and very, very light, of product research. Some sellers don't do a lot of product research. They sort of like do a guessing game, like, I think this will sell and this will sell, and I think this will sell, and blah, 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 blah. Where other sellers will actually be intentional about what they are sourcing so they can make sure that the thing that they want to sell to the public or put up on any platform, that it is actually something that people can use, they need, it's solving a problem, addressing an issue. So they're doing some level of product research. And then every seller, no matter what method of e-commerce, if you're selling physical products, you're sourcing. You got to get your inventory from somewhere. I don't care if you got it for free. I don't care if you're going to a thrift store, I don't care if you're with a wholesale supplier, I don't care if you're drop shipping, doing print on demand, doesn't matter. Private label, you're getting your inventory from somewhere. If you're doing private label, you're more than likely getting it from the manufacturer. So we're all doing some of the basics. And then all of us, to some extent, whether we outsource it to a VA or not, are doing some level of customer service, the things that sort of matter. Now, there are some sellers that don't care about this part, but that we are listening to or getting some level of feedback from our customers. It may be extremely rare where someone contacts you and asks you a basic question like, okay, does it come in size, whatever? What's the dimensions on this or whatever? So you're answering customer questions. So you're doing customer service, and in some way, you're looking at reviews or dealing with returns or dealing with refunds. So, as part of selling physical products, there's going to be some level of returns, refunds, and reviews that you're going to have to deal with. And it may not happen often, but it will eventually happen in your business. So, if you're a new seller, probably hadn't even experienced that and not even thinking about it. But if your seller has been around for a while, then yeah, you're going to eventually come across that. So, all of those components, and there's many other components that basically all sellers or most sellers are doing. Some sellers are not doing certain things, and we're going to go through all those. So I created a mock schedule. As I said, the first thing that is so important in this journey is you got to build a template. The template is sort of the outline of what you're going to do each day in your business. Because in order to have an e-commerce business, you got to make time for it. It has to be a business. Even if you're only working 1 hour a day in your business, or 1 hour, a couple of days a week, you're still working in your business. And for most of us, we're probably working more than 1 hour. We're probably working a couple of hours, whether it is 2, 3, or 4 hours every day, 5 days a week. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So you're working in your business to some extent. And so the outline, basically the template is saying, okay, these are some activities that I'm engaging in my business around my life, because God blesses us with 18 hours in a day. Well, 24 really, but of those 24, 18 to 16 of those we're awake. And so the rest of them, we might be asleep, maybe not. Some of us work really crazy hours and go beyond the 18 hours of working. And so of those 16 to 18 hours that you're awake, how many of those hours are you actually working in your business? How many of those hours are you actually doing stuff in your business? So this next week is a critical week because it is the first week in July, first full week in July. Even though we got a holiday in there, it's still the first full weekend of July. And so we want to put together our game plan and strategy so that we can kick off Q3 right in our first full week in July. So looking at this template schedule, the template schedule has got columns and rows. The columns are the days of the week, Sunday through Saturday, starting at the top, going down Sunday through Saturday. And then going across, I actually broke this up into time blocks. So the time blocks start at 7 a.m., goes to 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., all the way up until 11 p.m. at night. And each one of those time blocks has an activity in it. Now, is that the only thing you do in those time blocks? No, there might be other things that you might be doing, and the activity that you need to engage in may not take up that full hour. And sometimes things do go over that hour, but there is a time in which we're assigning activities. For some people, they don't like time blocks. Some people prefer checklists. That's fine. We'll talk about the checklist method. But for right now, the visual that we're looking at is a time block schedule. And so I'm going to start with Monday through Friday in this example schedule, that's a template, because we're going to use the template to build our actual schedule for next week. So we got to build out the template to get to the actual. So in this template, we are looking at Monday through Friday, because this person works a 9 to 5 in this example schedule. The example schedule, the person is doing retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, and drop shipping. And so Monday through Friday, they are going to work. So at 7 a.m., Monday through Friday, it's the same. They're getting up, maybe doing some meditation for about 15 minutes and probably doing some exercise for 45. It takes up the whole hour. You can slice and dice it whatever you want to. It could be 30 minutes and 30 minutes. It really doesn't matter. Then at 8 a.m., they're sort of taking about 5 to 10 minutes to plan their day. Why? Because in the daily econ planning session, we tell you, you need to spend at least 5 to 10 minutes every single day planning your day, not really planning it because you planned it the night before, reviewing your schedule for the day. So it's locked in for the day and you're ready to execute it. So they're spending 5 to 10 minutes just kind of focusing on that schedule that they built the night before, and they are getting ready to get their kids out the door or get them out the house, however they need to do that. So that getting them out the door, whoops, that getting them out the door and getting them out the house is whatever they're like, whether they're taking them camp, school, whatever. I know one of my kids is in ESY, which is extended school year this summer, and the other one is doing conditioning camps in the morning. So we are sort of off and running to the races every morning too. But this is not my schedule. This is the mock schedule. So then this person, again, working 9 to 5, they work from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. every single day. Again, some people work 8 to 5, some people work 7 to 4, whatever. And so from 9 until 1 o'clock, they're working their job Monday through Friday. So it's a big giant chunk that's taken up. But at 1 o'clock, they're taking a break for lunch. And in this 1 o'clock, they are doing what I refer to as working their business in the pockets. Because if you have a full-time job and you're trying to figure out how do I work my business and work a 9 to 5 and still deal with all my kids. So in this example, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, they were doing some level of research, whether it's product research, listing research, or keyword research. They're doing some level of research on their lunch break. Are they spending the whole hour doing it? No, they're probably taking 30 minutes of that 1 hour break, of that 1 hour lunch to do that. And then they're spending the other 30 minutes, doing whatever they normally do, eat lunch, go out, whatever. And so they may make some sacrifices on this e-commerce journey early in the journey to not go out and have lunch with their buddies or whatever the case may be. Or they may, choose to huff it and bring their own lunch. That would be something I would do strategically so I can buy back some time and not spend time commuting. But anyway, you can use Uber Eats too. That works. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, they are doing some level of sourcing. So I said before, they're doing retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, and drop shipping. So they've got to figure out, where am I getting my inventory? Not what inventory I'm getting, but where am I getting my inventory? So they may go and acquire inventory online for online arbitrage during their lunch hour for 30 minutes. And as far as the research is concerned that they're doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that could be product research for their drop shipping. Or if they're doing product research on Monday, on Tuesday, they buy. On Wednesday, they do product research. On Thursday, they buy. So you see how it's kind of layered and staggered strategically so that they can, whatever research they did on the day before, on the next day, they actually buy the inventory. They source it, they get it. Okay. That means that I'm placing an order, it's going to be shipped to my house and blah, blah, blah. Or I could even be more strategic. It could be that I do my product research. And if I'm doing drop shipping, or retail arbitrage, then I do my product research on my lunch hour, and then the next day I could go buy it. Maybe it's in a nearby strip mall or a nearby store, and just run and go get it. Maybe place an online order and run and go get it on my way home from work. So then after that 1 hour block is taken up with lunch and an activity, then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, of course, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they are back to work at 2 o'clock and they get off work at 6 in this example. Well, again, as I mentioned before, if they did research earlier in the day, on their way home, they could be sourcing, they could be picking up inventory, they could be buying inventory on their drive home. And again, they could be doing what I call as quick sourcing, which is you've already figured out what it is you want to source. And so what you want to buy, where it is. So I know I want to buy, let's say I want to buy flags because the 4th of July is coming up. So maybe I want to buy the little yard flags. And I wouldn't just buy them now. I probably would have bought them about 4 months ago, but that's a different story. So I'm going to go and get some yard flags. And I know that I can get them for cheap at XYZ store. So I do the research online to say, what's yard flags are selling. The sales for them start to peak around this time. I can sell them for this amount of money, whatever it is. And then on my drive home, I'm like, I know where I'm going to go get these yard flags because I did the research earlier that XYZ store has them. So I can, on my drive home, strategically pick them up. So you see, again, how what you do early in the day matters what you do later on in this example. And some people don't have a 9 to 5, so they can't identify with the whole being strategic on their way home to source inventory. Maybe they're doing drop shipping, maybe they're doing white label or private label, so they don't have to go out and source them physical sourcing. Or maybe they're just doing online arbitrage. I don't know. And so on Monday and Friday, they're doing some level of sourcing on their way home. That's what they're doing. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, they have some shipping component to their business. So that meant that probably the night before I created listings and I probably had some sales, so I had to package up some stuff. So on my way home, I'm dropping off packages at UPS, USPS, or FedEx, more than likely. So that's what's happening at 6 for them on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then on Wednesdays, in this example, they're going to Bible study. So, okay, doing the Bible study thing. So that's probably a 2 hour block, and that goes all the way down to 8 o'clock, so 6 to 8. As I go to the 7 o'clock for the rest of the week, except for Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, we have dinner. Okay, that makes sense. And then at 8 p.m., they've got some family time with the kids, with the family, whatever. And at 9 p.m., they're getting the kids ready. So that's Monday through Friday, getting the kids ready. So that time block is already taken up. Now, after the kids are down at 10 o'clock, that's when they're doing their listing. They're dealing with their customer service inquiries. They're checking for messages. And so that may end up being a whole 50-minute activity of creating new listings and 10 minutes of just checking to see if I have any returns, refunds, any reviews I need to address, any questions, or packaging up something that needs to be dropped off the next day. So that's their example. They go to bed at 11 o'clock, and it starts again Monday through Friday. On Saturdays and Sundays, in this example schedule, you've got a person that on Sunday and Saturday morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, they're doing their business planning for the week. That makes sense. Like, I work a full-time job, so I do need to make sure I set aside time to be strategic in my business. And so, in order to be strategic, I got to make sure that I jot down what are the things I need to get done this week, what are the products I need to source. If I am doing what I refer to as advanced planning, I'm thinking about not sourcing for the 4th of July on the 4th of July. I'm thinking about if this were not July, if it was more like March or April, I'm thinking about sourcing for the 4th of July in March or April, because it depends on where I'm getting my inventory from. If I'm doing retail arbitrage, I'm getting them from the stores. Online arbitrage, I'm getting them from the stores. If I'm doing drop shipping, I'm getting them from a supplier. So maybe I don't need that much time. But if I'm doing wholesale, I might need a little bit more time. It may take them, 10 weeks to get the shipment to me, 6 weeks to get the shipment to me, 12 weeks to get the shipment to, depending on where I'm sourcing from. So I need to make sure that I'm always thinking anywhere from the next 4 to 6 to 8 to 10 to 12 weeks out, because I need to be able to get that inventory before the thing hits whatever I'm trying to target, where there's going to be an uptick or a spike in sales, if that's my e-commerce method. If my e-commerce method is different, if I'm doing replens, if I'm doing consumables, if I'm doing anything else, then that may be irrelevant, because I don't care about those little spikes of, seasonal, holiday, trendy, popular. I don't care about that. Movies coming out, I don't care about that. But for some people, I actually do care about that. And so your e-commerce method is going to be different, and your strategy of where you source and how you source and when you check your inventory levels, all that's going to be different for you. But you do need to build a schedule and a routine around that. So they're doing planning on Saturdays and Sundays at 7 o'clock in the morning before the kids get up. And on Saturdays and Sundays, they're also doing some level of either a shipping or a listing related activity, while the family is not really fully active in the morning. Maybe the kids are, whatever. Then on Saturdays, they've got 2 hours worth of sports from 9 until 11. They go to the grocery store from 11 until 1. And then they're cleaning the house, doing laundry from 1 until 3. So that's, Saturday stuff. You're building your life into this schedule, into this routine. And that's how you are able to make it work, that you can actually work a full-time job and run a business part-time. On Saturdays, they're spending about 3 hours going out and doing sourcing from about 3 until 6. And then at 7 o'clock, they're doing listing. And then from 6 o'clock, they're doing listing, creating listings. And then at 7, they're having dinner and having family time all the way up until 10 o'clock at night. And then at 10 o'clock at night, when the family goes down, the kids go down. And at 10 o'clock, they're actually doing some of their administrative tasks. And we'll get into administrative tasks in a minute that they're engaging in their business. And they're done. So they've worked their business on Saturday. On Sunday, it's a little different. On Sunday, again, I already mentioned what's happening at 7 and 8, but they're going to church at 9 o'clock. So from 9 until 12, they're at church. And then from 12 until 3, it is family time. They're spending time with the family. They do not work their business during that time. That's not what they do. So, family time is important to them. And then at 3 o'clock until 6 o'clock, they are taking care of all the shipping that they did. So in this example, they're doing some retail arbitrage for 3 hours on Saturday, and they're doing the shipment the same amount of time on Sunday. Retail arbitrage, the shipments, whether you're sending it to FBA, whether you're sending it to a 3PL or your fulfillment center, your prep center, whatever it happens to be, cleaning the tags off of stuff, packaging it up, labeling, cataloging it, all of that fun stuff that goes with handling physical inventory. Those are the things that they're doing. And so, or maybe they're making bundles because I'm a bundle chick. So maybe they're making bundles. That could be their thing. But in any case, they've got a plan for how they work their business. They sort of work it, not necessarily in the pockets at this point. They're intentional on Saturday for 3 hours, and they're intentional on Sunday for 3 hours. Then after that, at 6 o'clock at night, 6 to 7, they are 6 to 8, sorry. They are working on prepping their household for the week. I do prepping my household for the week. That is the thing that I do. I'm a nerd about it. And so for me personally on Saturdays, I am actually going through and doing meal prepping for the entire week. I'm not trying to be in the kitchen every single day. I'm not that kind of chick. So since I don't want to be in the kitchen every day, I'm fixing meals on Saturday for the entire week. And all the kids have to do is just go in the refrigerator, pick one of the three, because I normally do 3 different meals, and they pick one of the 3 that they want to eat, they microwave it, and we're done. Or they stick it in the toaster oven, whatever it happens to be, because I'm not trying to be in there cooking every single day. I don't have that kind of time. So in this example, this person is prepping for the week as well. They already did the laundry and the cleaning for the week. So we're good for the week. Like the house is not completely trash and everything is not all over the place. They're making sure they're making time for those things as well. And then at 8 o'clock, they're going through the process. This is on Sunday. They're going through and doing some level of additional weekly prep stuff that's only for that week. So maybe there's, doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, things that they have to sign papers for the kids for schools or whatever camp, whatever it happens to be. And then at 9 o'clock, they are working on learning something new for their business. So as the kids are getting ready to go to bed, they are learning for at least 1 hour something new for their business. Very strategic here, because I believe that of all the things that you can do in your business, that one spot of learning something new once a week in your business for 1 hour, I'm not talking about getting sucked into the YouTube vortex. I believe that that is crucial to the growth and development of your business. And I'll explain why in just a second. And then they, at 10 o'clock, they're doing their administrative work. So they make sure that they have at least 2 hours a week that they do administrative work on their business, and 1 hour a week that they're doing education. So why do I think education is important? I believe that education is important because if you want to do something to your business that's going to have a direct impact on your results in Q4, then you're probably going to have to get better at something you're not doing very well right now. So if you're not doing product research really well right now, then one of the things that you probably need to do is you've got to figure out how to get better at product research. You've got to invest time, at least 1 hour a week, into learning how to get better at product research. You got to invest, if you invest 1 hour a week, every single week, in learning how to get better at product research, what's going to happen is at the end of 4 weeks or the end of the month of July, what is the one thing that you've done every single week? You've learned something new on product research and you've applied it the rest of the week as you're creating listings, you're doing your own regular research because you already have the time block for it. As you continue to do that, in week 1, you might see a gradual increase in you're getting a little bit better at product research. In week 2, you're continuing to get just a little bit better at product research. In week 3, it's like, okay, I'm getting better. Week 4, I will carry everything that I learned in week 1, 2, 3, and 4 of just investing 1 hour every single week and getting better at product research. And by the end of July, what is the one thing that I will have done for sure? I will have learned something and applied it immediately, because most of the time people buy courses or they enroll in something, they learn something, they never do anything with it. So then they lose that skill, or they lose the impact that that could have had on their business if they had applied it immediately. So I learned something new, I apply it immediately, and the entire month of July is impacted because of the fact that I intentionally focused on getting better at product research. But if I did that same thing for the month of August. If I decided for the month of August I was going to spend 1 hour every single week getting better at sourcing. Maybe I kind of source, I half-ass source, I don't really do a good job about it. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to get intentional, get focused, get committed to getting better at sourcing. So then I work on getting better at sourcing. I'm intentional about it. So I focus on it 1 hour every single week. The entire month of August, what's going to happen if I apply it immediately as I source throughout the week in the month of August, every single week? By the time the week is over, I've now gotten better at sourcing. So I've gotten better at product research. I've gotten better at sourcing. What if in September, I decide that I'm going to focus on getting better at listing optimization? And I focus on that for 1 hour every single day and apply it immediately as I create new listings throughout the week. So, in the month of September, every week, I'm learning something to get better at listing optimization, and I apply it throughout the week as I create listings. And before September is over, just that's 4 hours in the month. That's it. And I'm applying it every single time I create listings in September. Now, by the time I get into Q4, which is the start of October, I've gotten better at product research. I know how to find products that people really want, and I've gotten better at finding those products that I believe will sell. I've gotten better at sourcing, so I'm not spending the most amount of money I could to get this inventory, and I've gotten better at creating listings. How is that going to have a direct impact on my Q4? I'm going to have a much better Q4 because I was intentional about those four things by just investing 1 hour. So it is the thing that you're doing. You're only spending about 10%, maybe 5% of your time just to learn something, to get better at that, focusing on that, and then applying it immediately. It's going to have a direct impact on your Q4 results. You'll be able to compare your Q4 from last year to Q4 this year, and you'll be able to see the immediate difference. Outside of regular inflation and increased price of everything, you will see an immediate difference because you will get better. You'll get more sales because you've gotten better at a lot of different things in your business all at one time. So all I'm saying is that's something that you should consider doing. I think it's the best decision anybody could make. So anyway, I digress. So we walk through sort of a mock schedule. There's a second mock schedule that's actually in the e-commerce planning Facebook group on this document, this weekly planning document. And so the second mock schedule is a mom who works from home. She's a stay-at-home mom, and she does retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, print on demand, and drop shipping. Okay, so I'm giving these examples. So she's doing some print on demand, and every single day she's working in the business Monday through Friday. She's got a regular morning routine. The whole 7 o'clock thing is happening every day for her. So she's getting up, doing meditation, exercising at 7, all the way across Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the way through. And then on Monday through Friday, she's dealing with the kids in the morning at 8 o'clock, and then once she's got the kids settled for whatever they're doing for the entire day, now we're into working our business. She clocks in to work her business at 9 o'clock in the morning, and she stops working her business at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I just got a cha-ching. In any case, so it's 9 until 2 every day, Monday through Friday. So 9 to 2. So 9 to 12 is 3 hours. So she's working 5 hours every single day in her business, Monday through Friday. So that's 25 hours. And then she's also picking up some extra time on Saturdays to work in her business, another 6 hours on Saturday to be strategic about getting out and doing some retail and online arbitrage. And so that's 31 hours. And then the rest of the time, she is not working in her business at all. So in this window, she's got research, that's product research, listing research, and keyword research. She's doing it at 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock, she's doing sourcing, whether it's physical going out or online sourcing, or creating her print on demand products with her print on demand supplier, or drop shipping, whatever. And then at 11 o'clock every day, she's doing listings no matter what. At 12 o'clock, she's dealing with any level of shipping component in her business, whether it's shipping it to a fulfillment center so she doesn't have to deal with it, preparing shipments to, from anything she went out and sourced, whatever that happens to be. She's checking her shipments to make sure shipments went out for her POD business, for her drop shipping business, all of that fun stuff. And then at 1 o'clock, she's rotating between administrative activities. And this is Monday through Friday, administrative activities, marketing related activities, which is driving traffic to her listings, and education related activities. So she's sprinkling that in Monday through Friday. On Saturdays, so the rest of her day is, whatever she needs to do, whether it's running errands, whether it's family time. She is not spending any more time in her business after 2 o'clock. She's done. Okay, she's done with her business Monday through Friday. On Saturdays, after she works through the activities she's got to do first thing in the morning with the kids, at 11 o'clock until 5 o'clock, she's working in her business. So 11 o'clock, she's going out and doing 3 hours worth of sourcing. And that's from 11 until 2. And then from 2 until 5, she's creating her listings and creating her shipments. And then she's done. She's not doing anything else. And she's spending her family time all day Sunday. That's her stuff. The only thing that she does that may be business related is that she does have an administrative activity she does early Sunday morning, and she's doing some weekly planning for her business on Saturday morning as well as 9 o'clock. And that's it. The rest of her days, all the rest of Sunday, is committed to her family. All of the time after 3 p.m. Or 2 p.m. is committed to the family Monday through Friday, and then after 5 p.m. on Saturdays, it's all family. So she has the ability to work in her business anywhere from 25 to 31 hours, and she's got time blocks for everything that she's doing. That is what her schedule looks like. So I've kind of hopefully given you somewhat of a decent visualization. And now we're going to go build our template. So step one of the template is to download the checklist. So if you haven't done that, go to the e-commerce planning Facebook group, go to the file section, download the weekly planning checklist. We're on page 1. So step 1 of the process is to build our own template. You can build it inside the My Ecom Planner if you want to, or you can go to the Google Drive. I love going to the Google Drive, using the Google spreadsheets and using Google Docs. Perfect for this. So if you're going to use a Google Doc, just to start the brain dump, because the brain dump is the first thing we're going to do, and then we're going to take the brain dump and we're going to organize it and put it into the plan. The brain dump, we're going to separate the brain dump into things that you already do, things that you really need to be doing in your business, and things that you want to start doing in your business. Okay. Then we're also going to incorporate all of our family and household and life related stuff, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's dealing with their kids for sports or whatever competitions they happen to be in, or things that maybe they're just having play dates, who knows. And, our spiritual, if we have a relationship with the Lord, we're going to church, whatever that happens to be for you, and anything else that's personal. Maybe you have a lunch date with girlfriends every Friday. And so we're not going to interrupt any of that kind of stuff. We want to make sure we just account for that time. So you're going to download or gain access to a Google Drive. If you have a Gmail account, it's easy to do. You can go to your Gmail account, and once you go to the Gmail account, in the upper right-hand corner next to your initials is the 9 dots I refer to as the Rubik's Cube. It is not a Rubik's Cube, but that's what I refer to it as. You click on the 9 dots, you click on Google Drive from the 9 dots, and then you'll see a word, it's Drive, it's a triangle. Once you choose Drive, a new window will open up, and then on the left-hand side of the page, somewhere close under the word Drive, there's going to be a big plus that's multicolored. Click on the plus, and that means you're creating something new, and we're going to create a new Google Sheet. So choose Sheets. Google Sheets are very similar to Excel, so you can choose a Google Sheet, and once you choose the Google Sheet, you've got now something that's like, I think it's green up at the top, and it really does look very similar to Microsoft Excel, but it is not exactly Microsoft Excel. But the great thing about Google Docs and Google Drives and Google all of that is that if you have a Gmail account, you can access this Google Drive from anywhere. Doesn't matter, as long as you have your mobile device. Great thing about Google is up on the cloud. So if you happen to be at the airport sitting in a plane, waiting for it to take off, and you're on the runway for like 9 hours, hopefully that never happens to you. You can go to your Google Drive and you can work on documents that are on the Google Drive. You can update them, you can modify them, you can create new ones, you can save them. If you happen to be sitting in a doctor's office waiting on the doctor to come in, you can work on them from anywhere. If you happen to be fortunate enough to go on vacation in Hawaii, be sitting on the beach, and you have your mobile device, if you want to have it near you, maybe you don't, but you could run your business or do things from anywhere with the Google Drive. So I encourage you to try that. It is a great tool, and I love it. So now that we have this Google Drive and it opened up a new sheet, at the very bottom of the page on the left hand side, it'll say sheet one. Next to the word sheet one is another plus. It's much smaller plus. And you can click on the much smaller plus and you'll get a sheet two. So you have sheet one, sheet two at the bottom. If you think of them like folder tabs, like in a file cabinet, folder tabs might be the easiest way to kind of think of them mentally. So for sheet one, we're going to add columns to sheet one. So column A at the very top of cell A1, we're going to write the words, things that I already do. You can write already do if you want to do that, or things that I already do, however you want to write that out. And then we're going to have two blank spaces next to that, two blank columns. So that's going to be column B and column C. We're going to leave blank. Okay. Column D at the very top, D1, we're going to choose need to do or must do. There's probably some things in your business you really need to do or must do, but you're not really doing them. That's where you're going to put that. And then next to D, we're going to leave column E and column F blank. Okay. Then from column F, next to column F is column G. At the top of column G, G1, we are going to do want or should do. Okay. These are things you want or should be doing in your life or want or should be doing in your business. Now let's fill in the spreadsheet. Okay. So the first thing is, again, we're not just thinking about our business. We do want to go ahead and fill in the things that we already do in our life, especially if there's something that we're doing and it's serving our life well, it's serving our business well, it's serving our family well, let's do it. So if getting together with your girlfriends for lunch every single, or your male friends for a lunch every single Friday, is you feel like it's boosting your spirits, it's a great time to connect, you have a really tight friendship and it's part of the bonding process, then keep it on your list if you feel like it's serving your life well. If it's not serving your life well, stop doing it. Or minimize the amount of time that you do it and the frequency in which you do it, okay? But yeah, don't be pressured into it. Life is short. Life is very terribly short. Terribly. If nobody has learned anything for the last 2 years from COVID, is that life can be gone in an instant. So life is too short to be doing stuff that does not serve you well, does not bring you joy, does not bring you peace or contribute positively to your life. Stop doing it. So the other thing is, like, if you're going to church, if you work out every single day, put that on your list of things that you already do, because that is time we do not want to touch. If you're already working out every single day at 7 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whatever, put it down. It's something you're already doing. It's serving your life well, or it's bringing you peace or joy. It's contributing positive to your life. Then keep doing it. Okay. If going to church is your thing, if taking the kids to the park every Saturday is your thing, write down those things and what you already do. We left the next two columns blank, and the reason we left them blank is because we're going to put in the days in which we do that, or day. If it's one day, that's fine. If it's days, put the days and put the time. When do you normally do that? So if you go out and work out every single morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, put that down, Monday through Friday or Saturday through Sunday. Just Sunday through Saturday. I don't know why I said that backwards, but anyway, go ahead and put it down. That Saturday through Sunday, I work out at 7 o'clock in the morning. It is serving you well. If you get up and do meditation, or you go to church on Wednesdays and go to Bible study, write it down. This is something that's serving me well. It's contributing to my life positively. It's making me, I am nuts or feel incomplete when I don't do it. Okay. So it's already a routine that you've kind of built in. For me, like, one of the things I do is I do meal prep we go to church every Sunday, but we do meal prep on Saturday nights. It's something that I already do. It makes my life better throughout the week, so I'm not stressed out. We go shopping on Friday. That's our routine. So we go shopping on Friday nights and we go do meal prep on Saturday nights. So we're done cooking. So I'm not in the kitchen on Sundays. It serves me well. I'll put it on my list. It's stuff I already do. So think through your life. And then I want you to start thinking through your business. So write all the stuff about your life in first, so we don't miss those things, because that's extremely important. That's how you figure out how to run a business while living your life, because you got to write down what's happening in your life. Okay. So we're filling out the already do. Now we're going to continue with the already do. Okay. And we're going to mention from time to time things you need to do or you should be doing and you want to start doing. So as we think about the sourcing activities, as we step into the business side of it, I want you to think about, where are you sourcing for the next 2 to 20 weeks? That may be something that you have not really thought about. Is this, do you already think about sourcing? So you have some sourcing related activities. That's what are you doing for the next 2 to 20 weeks? What's upcoming, whether it happens to be holidays, events, seasonal activities. The seasons are going to be changing. Ironically, we just um, went into the summer about 2 weeks ago, and then we're already in hurricane season if you don't already know that. So some people, they know that because of where they live. And so if you're sourcing inventory, you probably, things that people need for hurricanes, you probably have not immediately thought about that. Like, do you also think about sourcing things when the tornado season hits and stuff like that? So it's not just winter, spring, summer, and fall. It is some other stuff that happens in the US or whatever country you happen to live in, because maybe you're not in the US. Okay. So the next one in sourcing is like replenishables and consumables. So those are products that you are sourcing. You probably have a specific place where you get replenishables and consumables. Where are you getting those? Are you thinking about that? These are activities because you're going to have a sourcing activity. And these are the types of things that go under the sourcing activities. Where am I getting my replenishables goes under my sourcing activities, consumables, that kind of stuff. Are you even thinking about it? Are you keeping track of that? There's going to be some administrative stuff because you got to go back and do the admin side to figure out, what's selling. Oh, I ran out of that. Every time I buy it, around the 20th of every month, I run out, and it's a thing that I sell all the time. So maybe I should get more strategic and start reordering or order more, and maybe go back and look at my inventory, not wait till the 20th, start looking at my inventory on the 15th. Like you'll start making some strategic decisions over time. You won't immediately do it, you'll do it over time. As well as wholesale suppliers, like, well, who are you sourcing wholesale from? Not what, who. And drop shipping, who are you drop shipping with? So private label, white label opportunities under your sourcing activities. These are things that may come up. This is not all of them, but these are some of the things that might come up. And so sourcing, upcoming events, holidays, seasonal, movies, replenishables, consumables, wholesale, drop shipping, private label, white label opportunities, sourcing. Then you have some research related activities. So your research related activities are product research, keyword research, listing research. Those are all listing related activities that you should be engaging in your business. Now, as I'm saying them, and something is going to resonate with you, you'll be like, I do actual product research on Tuesdays. Every Tuesday, I go through and do product research and put it down. This is something I already do, or I feel like I need to start doing, but I don't know where to put it. I don't really, or I want to do it. I sort of do it, but I don't do it that often. And I don't do it well. Like I do the shady part of it. I half-ass do product research. If that's you and you're just half blank doing it, then you probably want to put it under the want. Like I want to start doing more of this. I do a little bit of it. Or if I don't do any of it, then you probably need to put it under the need. Okay, so we got sourcing. Think about what you're doing in your business when it comes to sourcing. Do you feel like you're really sourcing, or that you already have, that you're already doing it? If you are, when are you already doing it? If you're not already doing it, if you want to start doing it or you need to start doing it, put it under the want and the need, because you're going to make time for it. Research, product research, listing research, keyword research, same thing. Are you already doing it, or is it something you feel like you need to start doing, or something you're sort of already doing it, but you want to start doing more of it? Okay. Then listing related activities, that's creating your title, your description, your photos, your price, your cost, cross listing, multi-channel, creating videos for your products. Okay. I don't know if you're starting to notice that, again, videos are really starting to pick up on listings because a lot of the platforms have the capacity to house a video. So are you creating videos for your listings? Because if you are, sometimes can get you more sales, more exposure, get more traction on your listing. So I don't know what platform you're selling on, only you know that. But if it applies to you, fantastic. But if it doesn't apply to you, it might be something you want to start doing or need to start doing. But listings are a need. You have to create listings in order to make money. Like that's your income producing activity, period. End of discussion. But there are other things within listings, like cross listing can get you more money, get you more exposure, and maybe you're not doing that and you feel like you need to, or maybe you feel like I need to start doing some multi-channel, omni-channel stuff. And again, something you want to stop doing, but you're not doing right now. Okay. Not something that you need to do. Maybe you want to start doing. Shipping related activities. That's Amazon FBA, WFS, which is Walmart Fulfillment Services. Um, um, fulfillment and prep centers, or your 3PL, whichever one people call them. Well, prep centers are truly prep centers, but fulfillment centers can be 3PLs. And that means that they handle logistics for sometimes international people as well. So international sellers. FBA, FBM, fulfillment by merchant or seller fulfilled, confirming your shipments, auditing your shipments. So if you've outsourced the shipping component of your business, you're not touching inventory. Fantastic. Congratulations. But how often are you going to follow up? Are you only checking to make sure that the shipment went out and you got a tracking number for everything when you get a message from a client asking for a refund? Is that the only time? Because if that is, it's probably not the best way to run your business. You should always know whether or not a shipment went out. So you should have some level of auditing or confirmation process that you're going back to just to double check that everything went out as expected. Because every once in a while, things can be going well for a year, 2 years, or 6 months, and then there's a kink in the process, and you don't know it until you got 20 refund requests or 2 inquiries and 3 refund requests. So don't get caught off guard. You should always know what's happening in your business at all times. So you need to figure out, where does this go for me? Is it something that I'm already doing and I'm really religious about it? I'm checking it, because again, that's an income producing activity on the back end. That means you get to keep the money. If people get their stuff, you get to keep the money. If people don't get their stuff, you don't get to keep the money. So it becomes an income debit situation. I lose money. So don't lose money. Make sure you keep your money. So what's happening? Where are you in this process? You need to fill in the columns. I already do it. I want to start doing it. I really need to start confirming. So as far as I'm concerned, under listings should be in the need if you're not doing it very well or very often. And shipping should be under the need if you're already doing and not doing it very well. The other stuff, some people don't want to do some of the extra stuff, and you don't have to do the extra stuff. It depends on your e-commerce method. Then the administrative tasks. So administrative tasks, you've got running platform reports, filing your taxes, doing bank reconciliation, account reconciliation, expense reconciliation, balancing your budget. Do you even have a budget? Maybe that's something you need to start doing. Tracking expenses, tracking receipts, ordering inventory, checking expiration dates, auditing inventory, creating standard operating procedures if you plan on outsourcing to a VA, auditing or checking your prices, analyzing data, reviewing your stats. Again, these are things that I think if I think one of the areas is most neglected, it's this one and one other one. There's a lot of stuff that people just let their business run, and then at the end of the year, they got to figure things out with an accountant, and they haven't really been paying attention to what's happening every week or every month in their business. So I think this is an opportunity for you to start paying attention to what's happening every week and every month in your business, and to potentially do something different. Okay. So if you feel like you're really good at this part, that's fantastic. But if you feel like, you know what, she's right, I run from this, I don't pay attention to it till I'm forced to pay attention to it, don't live like that. You should always know where your business stands, especially if it is a business that you've created a brand and it's growing. At some point, somebody might approach you and want to buy your business. If your books are not in order, or you don't know your data, you don't know your numbers, you don't know your stats, you're not going to be in a position to be able to sell your business. So set yourself up for success. Build the habit of knowing where you stand in your business now versus reacting to it when it comes to tax time. Build the habit and the routine now. Okay. So figure out where this applies to you. I rattled off a whole bunch of stuff, and that's not the entire list. I'm confident there's some more things that could be added to that list under administrative tasks. And let me just say this. If you download the document, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's under each one of the activities. That does not mean that this is the entire inclusive list. This means that these are the big ticket items, and there's probably some smaller ticket items that could go under these categories as well. So don't take this as, oh, this is everything I have to do. No, there might be some other stuff that may be applicable because of the method of e-commerce you've chosen. So I just try to generalize as much as of it as possible. But again, there could be that you're using a tool. So I mentioned like review and adjust prices. So you could be manually doing. You could have VA do it. Um, you could use a tool. It's still an activity that has to be done. The tool doesn't always. I mean, like you got to set it up so it can run on its own. So it is an activity in your business. The next one is customer service. I've talked about questions, handling customer questions, returns, reviews, refunds, all that stuff. Then education activities. So are you doing any of those? Again, we're filling in the already do, want to do, need to start doing. And so there is I need to do it better. I need to understand it better. I need to work on developing this skill or increasing my knowledge about something. So, are there things in your business that you feel like you need to do better? Yes or no? Okay, if there are, fill them in under the three columns. You're going down under these columns. Things that you want to start doing better, you want to understand better, fill them in underneath. So you probably have a list. You can go ahead and pause if you're listening to this and come back to it later, or make a note of the time so you can come back to it later. But the point is, you need to fill that in. Then the next one is marketing and traffic related activities. So marketing and traffic. So we always want to drive traffic to our listings because that's how we potentially get sales. People got to know our stuff is out there in the universe. So, there's some traffic things that are free and there's some paid stuff. So if we're going to go through the free stuff, like, are you maximizing all the potential free stuff that you could be doing to make more money, to get more people's eyeballs on your listings organically? Things like sending your listings through Ping Farm or sharing it out on other platforms, maybe even having a blog that may or may not make sense for you. I don't know what your products are. Doing email marketing. If you have an email, there's free email marketing software out there, guys. Like, you have to have a small list in order to email out, but there's some free software that you can use. Like, I think Constant Contact will allow you up to 2,000 contacts to send emails out before you have to pay. That's free. You don't have to pay for that. Video marketing, again, you've got YouTube. YouTube will let you do video marketing all day long, meaning putting your videos up. You probably need to learn how to title them and tag them and all that other stuff. But yes, you can put your stuff up and get some exposure to whatever your products are, especially if you're selling private label or white label products or even drop shipping. And then optimizing your listing, that's you. You can learn how to do that. Working with influencers is going to maybe cost you a little bit of money. There's a handful of influencers that will work with you for free just because they're trying to grow their audience. So you probably want to look at micro influencers instead of the bigger influencers. Micro influencers will be people that have 0 to like maybe just under 5,000 subscribers. And so if they have 0 to 5,000 subscribers, they might be interested in having a conversation with you. All of that's free. Everything I just mentioned is free. Now, the stuff that's paid ads, paid campaigns, all that stuff, that's going to cost you money. Depending on the platform you sell on, promotions are going to maybe cost you money. Doing some sales, that's on you. You can do that more than likely for free on some platforms. And, doing coupons, again, thinking through that. So this is not, again, the inclusive list, but these are things maybe that you like, oh, I'll probably need to start doing that. Oh, I need to learn how to do that. So go through the list, fill in the columns, and figure out where everything stands. Next to each column, you have the blank spot. You need to indicate which day you already do these things, or which day might make sense based on your life when you could do these things, and maybe what time. So if you don't want to set a time, then don't set a time. There's some people that are freaked out by having a schedule where every single hour has an assignment. Like, that's too much. So maybe you just do morning, afternoon, and evening. I think I can do this better in the mornings because that's my best time of day to work on stuff. I can do this better in the afternoons because that's my best day to work on stuff. I can do this better in the evening. So figure out your most optimal time of the day when you feel like you can make the most progress in your business. And don't overlook the stuff that's your personal life. When do you think, if you want to start walking more, when do you think it would be best for you to start walking more? If you want to start drinking more water, then put that down, that I need to start drinking more water. And when's the best time of the day to start working on that? Maybe you want to start meal prepping. Maybe that's not a thing you're currently doing. And so, again, figuring out, you're going to fill in the columns. Where does it fall under need to do or want to start doing? Okay. So we're filling in that, all of that stuff on this template that we're building. And as far as the checklists are concerned, we're going through, as we're building this out, we're going through and we're thinking about the types of goals that we can establish for each one of the things that we're writing down. Now, everything that you write down doesn't necessarily need a goal. Let's just put that first. But if it does need a goal, you need to figure out what type of goal it is. So if I were to use the example of going for a walk that may not have anything to do with your e-commerce business, but it actually may help your health, may help you with focus and concentration, getting more oxygen to the body, including the brain, which can potentially help you focus better. So it is a benefit of going out. It's good for your health. It's also good for your business. Okay. So mini goal around walking. You could start off with as you begin the process of thinking about establishing this goal, because we're not establishing it yet. We're just thinking about it. One way that one approach you might take is that I go out, I start simple with a mini goal or mini habit, and I make sure that it's something that I can easily do. So I walk for 5 minutes where you're like, okay, but there's no benefit to that. Well, the goal is not necessarily the duration of the walking. The goal is just to begin the process of establishing the habit of walking. Okay. So you can say, I walk for 5 minutes, 2 days a week. All right. Then you go, okay, I walk for 5 minutes, 4 days a week. And now I walk for 5 minutes, 7 days a week. Okay. Now I'm getting the habit of just walking. I'm going to build the habit of consistency around walking. I can take that 5 minutes and I can increase it to 10 minutes, or I can increase it to 15 over time. So 2 weeks at 10 minutes, 2 weeks at 15, 2 weeks at 20, 2 weeks at 25, 2 weeks at 30. Now I'm at my 30 minutes. I want to walk 7 days a week. If the goal was walk 7 days a week for 30 minutes, you've gradually implemented it. And over time, over 2 to 3 months, you're there. And now when you don't walk, something is off. Something is weird. I don't know. Something's up. I didn't do something today. Oh, I didn't go for my walk, my 30-minute walk. I always go for a 30-minute walk. So that's what a mini habit and a mini goal is. Something that is easy to do. It's hard to fail at it. Going for a 5-minute walk twice a week is not terribly hard. Like you probably walk to your car and back twice, and then you're like, okay, I did my 5 minutes, depending on where your car is. And I can check it off that I actually got it done. Now, increase it from 2 times a week to 5 to 7. And now we're going to continue to take that 7 and increase that. So it is around building the actual action of walking and not the duration. So you're working to build a habit around that. Habit stacking is thinking about your daily routines, the things that you're doing in your business or things that you're doing in your personal life. When you think about your morning routine and evening routine for yourself or for your kids, what does that look like? So putting things in sequential or logical order that makes sense. Things that these go together. This is the order in which they should be done. This would make it more efficient and faster. So think about some of the things you're doing and what the sequence is. Is the order, does it make sense? Does it not make sense? Could it be improved in any kind of way? That's part of the habit stacking process. And think about that for your business. So I always kind of dissect the listings, because when I'm coaching people and they tell me it's taking me an hour just to create one listing, I'm like, okay, well, something is not right about your listing process. Let's talk about it. And so as you kind of dissect or deconstruct it, if you think of it like a sandwich, and you take apart the bread and the lettuce and the tomato and the meat, and if you have cheese, the mayo, whatever, and the bottom piece of bread, okay, you lay them out on an assembly line flat, which you can look at each part of that process and figure out what you need to do to fix it. So if I think about listings, and it's a listing routine. It is a routine. So the first thing about listing is I want to be able to sit down in front of a computer and actually just start typing, period. End of discussion. Like I want to be able to create the first listing and be done. And I want to be done in 10 minutes. I don't want to be spending an hour doing one listing. It'll make me quit doing e-commerce if it took me an hour to create a listing. Like 10 hours later, I got 10 listings up in one day. I'm like, woo, that was all day. It should not take you that long. So go through and evaluate your process. So what is the first thing that you need to create the listing? Well, depending on your platform, like the first thing that they might want is the title. So what is your process around creating the title? Do you already have some idea? Do you need to improve your keyword research? Maybe. so that you can get better at creating titles versus spending an hour doing all this keyword research. Because if you can't just sit down and start creating the listing, if you got to go out there, I got to go do keyword research to even start with the title. Then I got to go find my images. I don't even know what folder they're in. Did I even take the pictures? Oh, I got to go prep the item so I can even take the pictures. Or did I get the pictures from somewhere else? Okay, now that I have the pictures, now I got to rename the images. So now I got to go back and I got to rename the images. Okay, now I'm ready to go. Now I've made it past the title. I've made it past the images. Oh, I got to go do the description. Okay, now I got to go do some research to figure out what the description should be. And then after I figure out that, okay, now I'm going to come back and I got to optimize and figure out the words that need to go on this listing. Okay, well, that's taking me at least 20 minutes. So now the next thing I got to do is go put in the specifics about the item, if there are any, or any key search terms, keywords that maybe I dropped off before, in these search terms that were they searching it incorrectly. Oh my gosh, this is taking me forever. So then I get to the place where it's like, okay, now I need to figure out how am I going to ship this thing. Oh, okay. I don't know how I'm going to ship it. Now I got to figure out what the dimensions are and okay, the weight. Now I have that information. I fill that in. And is there anything else? I got the price. Am I going to ship it internationally? And I got to figure out what the price is going to be. So you literally have stumbled through this entire process and then you hit submit. Wow, one listing is up. Versus, let's get a little better at it. Let's dissect each piece of this. What can I do to streamline the keyword research for the title? What can I do to make sure that the pictures are already ready? What can maybe one of the strategies that you take is that instead of creating listings from scratch, maybe one of the things you do all the time is piggyback off of listings, or you clone or sell mine. And depending on which platform you're on, you have an opportunity to jump on an existing listing or sell your version of it. That can save you a bunch of time. Then all you have to do is tweak the listing to make it work for you. It could be that if you're creating something new, like when you acquire the inventory, especially if you're doing retail arbitrage and online arbitrage, to clean up the package when you get it home. Sorry, take the stuff out of the package, take all the stuff out of it, clean it up, take the picture immediately. So all of the stuff you just bought, you took a picture of it within the first 5 minutes of coming in the house, and you put it all in the same place. So you don't have to hunt around for it. And while you were at it, when I bought the item, I thought about how I'm going to ship it. So I already knew when I sat down in front of a computer, I didn't have to think about how much I was going to sell it for and what I was going to do from a shipping standpoint, because I knew that before I put it in my cart. So there's some things that you can do to streamline that whole process so that way you're not spending all day going, oh my God, I can't get anything done. So that's, deconstruct what you're doing and figure out where you have some inefficiencies and where you can improve it, and gradually work towards improving it little by little, so that over time you get to a place where instead of spending 1 hour for a listing, and you spend 5 to 6 or 10 minutes doing that listing. The next one is time blocks. I've been talking about time blocks this whole time. I think that that's one of the great ways to reclaim where you're wasting time. Because again, you got 24 hours in the day. What are you doing in your business? If you're working 3 hours in the day and you're trying to figure out why you're not a millionaire yet, it could be that you could be doing some more stuff in your business to help you to become a millionaire, and that you're really not using your time wisely. So think through what you're doing in your business and what you can do better. And I think time blocks helps you to reclaim time that you're wasting, helps you to rein it in. You become your own personal time cop by using time blocks. Now, it will create some stress. Sometimes a little stress is good. That's what happens in weightlifting. A little stress on the muscles helps them to grow. A little stress on the body helps you to lose weight. So these are good things. We're not talking about an over amount of stress where you're just going to go nuts. So think through that. The other thing is that if you don't like time blocks, you can always use checklist or to-do list. If that makes you feel better about the process, you can do that. In addition to checklist or to-do list, you can separate your day in the morning, afternoon, and evening. That's another one. And then last but not least, the type of goal you may establish is maybe a SMART goal, which is specific, measurable, attainable, or achievable, relevant, realistic, and timely or time bound. Any of those where you can measure it. So if I want to be $1 million seller and I'm starting from today, I would take the remaining number of months in the year and divide it by 1 million, the remaining number of probably quarters first, quarters in the year, which is 2, and divide that by 1 million, the remaining number of months, divide that by 1 million, the remaining number of weeks, divide that by 1 million, and the remaining number of days. Now I know what I need to hit every single day, every single week, every single month, and every single quarter in my e-commerce business in order to achieve the $1 million at the end of the remaining 2 quarters of the year. So you got to have something that's specific and measurable. If you don't, You don't know what you're shooting for. Even if it's you're comparing your sales results from last year to this year, you're still working on something that is measurable. So, all right. So then the next thing is taking all that information. You're like, whoo, that was a lot of information, Nicole. I have now started to organize my template, and I've started to move things around to say, okay, I think these things go in the morning and these activities go in the afternoon. And these activities, I don't know where to put them yet. I'll find a spot as I build this out. But I always start with the things that you already do first. They take priority, they take precedence, and we're not moving that schedule around. And then you plug in things in other places where it makes logical sense. As you begin the process, and this is going to tab number 2. So tab number 1 is the brain dump. So it's sheet number 1, and you literally can click on the words sheet number 1. So you can left click on it, click on rename, and change it to brain dump. On sheet number 2 at the bottom of the page, you can left click on it, rename, and change it to weekly template. So you're going to convert the stuff that's on the brain dump over to the weekly template, and you're going to organize it by Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And you're going to take priority over the things that you already do, because these are things that are serving you well in your life. You've agreed that they do. And you're going to start filling in the things that you feel like you need to start doing and the things you want to start doing. And that's going to become your first draft of your weekly template. You're probably going to have about 3 or 4 drafts of it. So don't get frustrated when your first week of executing it doesn't go well. Try it out for about 2 or 3 weeks and then change it. And then try it out for another 2 or 3 weeks and then change it again. And you're going to find a sweet spot where it sort of works. And at the end of the year, you may actually have 3 or 4 templates that you work from. I have 4 templates that I work from every year. And then there are adjustments I have to make when there's a holiday week and stuff like that. But those are one-time adjustments. Not holiday, sorry, vacation week. So like this week, we're in the country. So I make adjustments. But in any case, follow that schedule as you build it out. And then the last thing I want to talk about is your actual. So your template is your guide for every single week. The actual is what you are doing. It is the what. It is the what. It is the what. So step 2 of this process is to use your template to create your actual for next week. So next week, we already know, next week is the 4th of July. The 4th of July might be a watch for you, because you might actually be with family, barbecuing, y'all gonna sit down, watch TV, whatever, hang out with friends. You're not really doing any business work at all. But if you are planning on working, again, you're going to make or create a schedule that works for that. So the first thing in this building of the actual schedule for next week is, of course, we're going to take that from the template. We're going to think about our monthly plan. We built our monthly plan last Sunday. And so that's the goals that we established for the month. So the goals that we established for the month is you probably had around 20 to 25 goals that you established for the month. Okay, so we're going with that. And you probably haven't marked any of those off yet because the month just started. But you always need to increase your awareness every single week of what your monthly goals are, because you're working towards those. There are things you're doing every single week to mark things off on the monthly goals list. Okay. Then you also need to figure out what the priorities are for this week. So this is the 4th of July. One of the priorities might be to get started on Halloween. One of the priorities might be to start sourcing for September and October. One of the priorities might be to make sure that your back to school listings are active and live. So I don't know what your priorities are, but I rattled off some stuff that matters to some people. It may be because you want to be prepared for Q4 that you get your inventory ordered from China so it arrives in the US in time if you haven't already done so. So whatever inventory you're planning on getting from China, you need to probably start getting across the ocean at this point. So that might be some of your priorities for next week because it's July the 1st. It also might be a priority for you next week because Prime Day is the following week, to put up some promotions, deals, and sales so that you can continue to take advantage of some of the traffic that Prime Day is going to bring to the internet. People are going to be logging on looking for deals, so they can still find your deal however they find it, whether you do a paid promotion or free, or you get better at your organic traffic, they can still find it. So make sure that you have your checklist of things that you're doing next week, and that may be on your priority list to get prepared for a potential little bitty bump in sales, or a big one if you were very strategic and started working on this in April and May when we started mentioning that there was going to be a Prime Day in July. Because we actually mentioned that if you've been following Ecom Sellers, we've been talking about Prime Day for a long time. It's not new information for us. We follow the routines. So this is something that happens every year. Um, so you deal with the priorities, and then you also document the habits. So what are the habits you're working to build in July? This is a great opportunity. Just update your habit tracker to put down the habits that you're working to track in July. Then the last thing is that you're going to fill in your whats. So we're going to be intentional, we're going to be specific, and we're going to fill in the whats. What am I sourcing? What am I doing product research on? Am I doing product research for upcoming movies that are going to be holiday blockbusters? Am I doing product research for products that are going to be hot products to sell in September, October, November? What are those products? What am I doing product research on? What? Okay. Then on product sourcing, where am I getting my inventory from? Who am I getting it from? Where am I getting it from? Who has the best prices? Who has the best deals? Who can get it to me the fastest? So you're sourcing what? What places am I sourcing from? Am I sourcing from wholesale suppliers? Do I need to establish a new wholesale supplier account? I don't know. Go look at that. What? Also, when it comes to listing activities, what am I going to be listing? Am I going to go ahead and get my back to school listings up? Am I going to go ahead and take advantage of some of the potential sales that I might get in July? I need to make my back to school listings active because I can tell you the schools have already contacted the parents. And back to school is going to run all the way through the rest of July and August, all of August. And Halloween is going to be picking up. And then, you're going to have pumpkin spice right after Labor Day. So, it's a cycle. For those who've been paying attention, we already know this is when this happens, and this is when this happens, and this is when this happens. And even if you're not, so this is for those people doing replenishables and consumables, those are like, there's a pattern. We know when to go start looking for stuff, getting stuff, ordering stuff, buying stuff. So this might be the window to start ordering some of that stuff. Okay. And then also creating your listings or draft listings. So you're ready to potentially allow that listing to go live, or bring up your old listings and you've already got and save those in drafts so that they're ready to go, or create them in a template because you're always going to sell the same thing every single year at the same time. Again, start getting strategic about what you do. And then shipping. Where am I shipping to? Who am I shipping to? Am I shipping to fulfillment centers? Am I getting shipments in? Am I checking shipments in that are coming in from across the ocean? So going through that process. Then the next one is education. We talked about education earlier. What are the things that I should be learning this month, in the month of July? What do I need to focus on for next week? And then what are the administrative activities I need to do next week? So since it's the first full week in July, I probably need to close out my books for June. There's a bunch of June stuff that I probably need to get done that I probably hadn't thought about. So I probably need to go through and make sure that I make time next week for some of those administrative activities. And then anything else that's in my personal life that's happening, whether it becomes, my spiritual, my personal, my financial, my health and fitness, family and household, any of those things. And what's in my online calendar for my business, and maybe for work, if you work a job, and personal for next week. And those are all things that we're going to add to the actual schedule. Again, we're using the template to build the actual. We already know when we're doing sourcing, so now we know what we're going to source when we do sourcing. We already know when we're going to be listing, so now we know what we're going to be listing when we do listing. We already know when we're going to engage in administrative activities, and then now we know what we're going to be doing. We're going to be closing out in the month of June. That's the what we're going to be doing. So you're going to use that template to do the actual activities. I hope this information is helpful. Hope you use it to your benefit to help you in your e-commerce journey. This has been a long session, but my name is Nicole Whitlock, and my passion is helping people on their e-commerce journey, helping them to get focused, get consistent, and helping them make the progress that they want to make in their business. So if that's you and you need some help, you can schedule a free 20-minute coaching session. I am happy to help you on your journey. You can go to ecomsellers.com, click on freebies, and schedule a free 20-minute coaching session. In addition to that, you can join Ecom Sellers Academy at ecomsellersacademy.com. Join our live weekly training sessions, our live weekly Q&As, get our friend 10 free retail and online arbitrage list. Also get your 10 free wholesale supplier list. And you'll gain access to over 200 training videos. In addition to that, if you need a tool to help you to get organized, I encourage you to grab the My Ecom Planner. It was created for sellers by sellers. You can go to myecomplanner.com and use that to help you in your business. So again, myecomplanner.com to help you in your business. Outside of that, I hope this information was helpful. Share this out with a friend. Let somebody else know about the daily econ planning sessions. This summer we've been off a little bit because my kids have been in different routines and activities, and so starting not next week but the following week we should be back to our normal schedule, which I'm looking forward to that, which is typically around 7:15 in the morning. So we are off schedule because I have to adjust for them, but I didn't want to miss these sessions because I feel like they're helpful. So let somebody else know if they were looking for the 7 o'clock, tag them and let them know that it's here. If there's something you want us to cover in the daily econ planning sessions, please type it in the comments. We are happy to accommodate you. And again, you can schedule your free 20-minute coaching session by going to ecomsellers.com, clicking on freebies, and scheduling your free 20-minute coaching session. So my name is Nicole Whitlock, and my passion, my hope for you is that today you have the most productive day planning out your week next week, that you have a highly productive, extremely focused, and very profitable day. And with that, we are going to say goodbye for now. Bye, y'all. Have a blessed one.